"You're being selfish, Tessa. She deserves this more than you," my mom shouted, her voice bouncing off the marble hallway of the wedding venue. I stood frozen, my face flushed with shame. This was supposed to be Mariah's big day at the elegant Tampa Bay hotel. Yet once again, we were knee-deep in family drama. The air smelled of gardenias and champagne, but all I could feel was the heavy sting of judgment. My name's Tessa Whitlow. I'm 26, and for as long as I can remember, I've been the afterthought in my own family. My sister Mariah, our parents, golden child, could do no wrong, while I couldn't so much as breathe without drawing criticism. But this time, the problem wasn't just skipped birthdays or hand-me-downs. It was about Grandma Helen's inheritance, something my mother firmly believed I had no right to. Since Grandma passed 3 months ago, I'd been quietly running the antique shop she left me, along with her Sarasota house and a surprising collection of real estate holdings. My parents, however, had been crystal clear. They thought it all should have gone to Mariah. When I finally spoke up, explaining it had been Grandma's decision, not mine, my mother dismissed me like some attention-seeking child. Just beyond the doors, the wedding reception buzzed on. Mariah, glowing in her ivory gown, was surrounded by 200 enchanted guests. I had tried staying invisible, sipping my sparkling cider, while watching her dance with her new husband, Trevor. For a moment, I even allowed myself to feel joy for her. She really did look stunning, and Trevor adored her, but the peace didn't last. My mother had cornered me near the restroom, flushed with anger and champagne. Behind her stood my father, Gary, arms crossed and face unreadable. He rarely said much during these clashes, but his silence always felt like quiet agreement. "This is ridiculous," my mother said sharply. "Helen must have been confused when she made that will. There's no way she meant for you to get everything while Mariah got nothing." My heart sank. This wasn't going to stay a private conversation. People were already glancing our way. The last thing I wanted was a scene at Mariah's wedding. But that choice wasn't mine to make anymore. Growing up in the Whitlow house meant understanding that love came with strings. My mom, Doreen, once crowned Miss Citrus County in 1985, still had old pageant photos and tiaras decorating our mantle. She'd spent the last 24 years chasing her lost glory through Mariah, who had her beauty and charisma. I, meanwhile, inherited Dad's quietness and plain features. Mariah got dance lessons and modeling coaches. I was told to focus on practical things like cleaning and cooking. When she quit her job at 16 to focus on her social life, my parents supported her. When I asked for help with college, they told me to take out loans and build character. The only person who ever saw value in me was Grandma Helen. Starting at age 12, I'd take the bus to her antique shop every Saturday. She taught me how to spot real Victorian jewelry, fix broken furniture, and recognize overlooked treasures. Those afternoons were the happiest of my childhood. "You've got a good eye, Tessa," she'd say. "You see value where others don't. That's rare." My parents barely tolerated those visits. My mother often said it was a waste of time. Junk wouldn't teach me real-world skills. She never understood that Grandma was giving me lessons in history, art, and entrepreneurship. When I told them I wanted to major in art history and business, she rolled her eyes and called it a useless degree. While Mariah was winning pageants and dating quarterbacks, my parents clung to her spotlight. They showed up for everything she did. But when it came to me, I was expected to quietly succeed without their support. During college, I stayed at the antique shop, learning how Grandma ran her business. I found out she also owned rental properties throughout Sarasota, which quietly brought in steady income. She had been building wealth all along, just in silence and simplicity. When she was diagnosed with cancer last year, I was there constantly. My parents came occasionally, always uncomfortable. Mariah visited twice, each time staying under an hour. In her final weeks, Grandma squeezed my hand and whispered, "You're the only one who really understood what this place meant. I know you'll take care of it." When the lawyer read her will, the silence was deafening. I sat between my parents as he announced that everything shophouse, properties, investments was left to me. My mother's face went pale, then red. "There must be a mistake," she snapped. "Helen always said the business should stay in the family." "It is staying in the family," the lawyer replied. "Tessa is family, but Mariah is the older daughter's child." My dad finally chimed in. "Shouldn't inheritance follow tradition?" The lawyer shook his head. Mrs. Whitlow was specific. She left written instructions explaining her choice. "Would you like me to read them?" My mother's jaw tightened. "That won't be necessary." The ride home was thick with tension. Once we pulled into the driveway, my mother exploded. "I can't believe she did this to us," she said, turning around in her seat. All we did for that woman visits dinners and she leaves it to you. You barely even spoke to her. I spent every weekend with her for 14 years, I replied quietly. I cared for her when she was dying. Oh, please, she snapped. You sat around playing with junk. Mariah was building a real future. She's getting married in 3 months. Do you know how expensive weddings are? That's when it hit. Mythos wasn't about Grandma's wishes. It was about money and my mother's belief that Mariah should get anything good that entered our lives. Over the next few weeks, the pressure mounted. My mother called daily with new reasons I should do the right thing and give Mariah part of the inheritance. She's starting a new life. She'd argue, you're single with a degree, you'll be fine. My father never said much, but he never challenged her either. Then came the breaking point. 2 weeks before the wedding, I got a formal letter from their lawyer questioning the will's legitimacy and Grandma's mental competence. The letter made me sick. They were really trying to erase her final wishes. That night, I made a call that changed everything. On Mariah's wedding morning, I made one last effort to talk to my mother. I found her in the bridal suite, fussing with Mariah's veil. Mom, can we talk in private? Not now, Tessa, she snapped. We're busy. It's about Grandma Helen's estate. Both she and Mariah turned to me. Tessa, not today, Mariah groaned. It's my wedding. I got the letter from your lawyer, I said. I can't believe you're actually contesting the— Well, my mom's eyes narrowed. We're protecting family interests. Helen wasn't thinking clearly, she was. I said firmly, I was there. She met with the lawyer multiple times. You manipulated a dying woman. She shouted. You filled her head with lies so you'd inherit everything. That's not true, and you know it. I snapped. I loved her. Mariah stood up. I don't want to fight, but Mom might have a point. Maybe Grandma felt obligated. Or maybe she left it to me because I was the only one who gave a damn, I said. My mother laughed bitterly. It's a junk shop, Tessa, not a legacy. She should have sold it and helped with Mariah's future. At that, something shifted in me. The way she dismissed Grandma's life's work, the way she assumed everything should revolve around Mariah suddenly made everything clear. You know what I said? Calmly. You're right. Grandma chose me because I would honor her. Legacy, you think you're so special. My mom snapped. Look at Mariah, she's successful. What do you have? A dusty store and old furniture. I met her eyes. I have something you'll never understand, Grandma's respect and her trust. We'll see about that, she warned. Our lawyer thinks we have a case. Then I'll see you in court, I replied and walked out.